All right. Well, the time finally came. The new truck arrived. And here she is. All 50 feet of it. Obviously, it's a Ford. It's an F350. It is a 2022. I traded in that Dodge I had that you guys had seen a bunch of videos on. And this is the new ride, man. It's a 2022 F350 Lariat. That's carbonized gray. I did order this truck. I ordered it last October, so I've had to be a patient person, and it finally showed up, minus a couple things that I ordered, but we'll get to that in a minute. Nothing major. Same toolbox I had in the old truck, just, you know, kept it around. There's nothing wrong with it, but I really like it. I think it's a good looking truck, man. For bone stock, old man long bed, it looks way better with the folding steps instead of the fixed steps. I did spec those. Give you kind of a close-up of the color. This is carbonized gray, and it's definitely gray. It's not charcoal like a lot of them. It does have some sparkle in it, which, you know, I like. But it's a good looking color. I'm happy with it. I haven't even washed it yet. I've had it for a week now. This weekend it's going to get washed and detailed, and I'm going to ceramic coat it myself. I didn't realize how expensive that was to have done, but these are the wheels. They're kind of a mesh deal. They're 20s. I prefer an 18, but they're 20s. It's got the, you know, it's got all the standard stuff that all these newer trucks have now. It's got the sensors and everything in that. Color matched handles. I am going to tin it. It needs a level. It's going to get a leveling kit. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm not sure if it's going to get a leveling kit and wheels and tires, or just tires, or what's the deal, but we'll see. I didn't do the blacked out package. That Dodge had the sport package, and I don't know. I think it's a little played out. I don't mind a little bit of chrome on a vehicle. This one's not. You know, I'm glad the mirrors aren't chrome. I'm glad the door handles aren't chrome, but I think it's got just enough that it looks good. I did opt for the LED headlights. They're bright. They're very bright. The fog lights are LED also. I did the cab lights up top. It does have the power folding mirrors and all that. A gigantic, that Ford symbol's huge. And that's my hand. I'll probably smoke that out, get a dark one. Here it is in the shade. I've actually been very impressed with the ride of this truck, just stock. I mean, everybody, you hear a lot of guys say how terrible they ride, and honestly, this thing rides as good and as soft as that Dodge did, even with the Thurin kit I had on it. This is a 6.7 diesel. I do like when you hit the lights at night, or when you open the door, this is like kind of a spotlight that comes down. It's a pretty nice feature. What else? I didn't do all the crazy cameras just because it was like $3,500, but I did spec the camera in up there so that if and when I do have a fifth wheel back here, and just to be able to look in the bed is kind of nice. But I did the factory liner. I did the spray in bed liner. It's got the lights. It's got the fifth wheel prep package. It's got the Ford man step, of course. I already dinged this one spot up here on the truck, getting the toolbox in, but whatever. I mean, it's a very nice truck, don't get me wrong, but it's a truck. I mean, I obviously have a toolbox in it, and I use it for work. It's my daily driver. Big old tow hitch on this thing, man. So it's got the reducer, and then a reducer inside the reducer. So I have not towed with it yet. I'm looking forward to that, getting the toy hauler hooked up. I've got about a, I don't know, 8,000 pound load of air conditioners. I'm going to be hauling about 150 miles next week on my flatbed, so I might make a video of that. I do really like how this is gloss and not the matte black that fades over time. I really like the mirrors on this truck. But yeah, we'll hop inside, go over some options. The power folding deals there, kind of nice. It does have that big old screen, which is pretty slick. Obviously the 21s is the same truck all around, except for the dash is different. The controls are different. You know, it's leather. I did the black leather. I did opt for those auxiliary switches, which was an option. I did do the sunroof just because why not? Kids like having a sunroof. Turn this air down here. As you can see, I drive a lot. I picked this truck up last Friday, and today's Friday, exactly a week later, and I've got 1,400 miles on this thing. So I didn't want to do a review, hey, here's my new truck, and I didn't have anything to feed back, you know. So I have got some seat time in this thing, even though it's only been a week. Something I really like, you can see that we're a little over half full, and I've got 489 miles till E. 48 gallon tank, man, is really nice. The first tank of fuel was pretty much all freeway, and I went 700 and some odd miles, and when I went to fill up, it only took 43 gallons or something, so there was still 5 in it. So that's really nice, having that extended range. The screen is cool. So a couple things. This truck, I spec'd it, I ordered it with rear seat heaters. Did not come with rear seat heaters. They are not available from Ford at this juncture, at this time. Even like if it was a Platinum, you wouldn't have got it yet, because Platinums all have that. I got WeatherTech floor mats coming, but they're like a week out. So right there would be seat heaters in the console. They're not there. Another thing that I ordered that I spec'd was adaptive cruise control, and it does not have adaptive cruise control either. So kind of a bummer. They just don't have the chips for it or whatever. So Ford is just shipping vehicles with kind of, that's good enough. And if you get all your options, you get all your options. But I was told if this was a Platinum, I would not have got it yet. They've had Platinums on order for 9 months. You know, I ordered October, and it came in the other day on the 5th, Cinco de Mayo. I picked it up on the 6th. So when it arrived also, this is the trim wood on the lariat, which I think is ugly. It just looks like old wood to me. That side over there was black. It was off of like a Platinum or a Limited. So that showed up wrong. They thought it showed up with no steering wheel heater either. And the only way to get to the steering wheel heater is to click through here, and you can click that button. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it right now. At this point, it's been nice. This is the first brand new truck I've ever owned. Last truck I bought was a year old and had a couple thousand miles on it. It was close to brand new, but not brand new. So it's been nice. You know, I'm fortunate to be able to, you know, have a truck like this. I know that. So even with these little things that got left off, I'm still super stoked on it. It's a very, very nice truck. Nicest truck I've ever had. I'll show you the backup camera. It's very big. It's not perfectly clear. It's definitely serviceable, very clear enough. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's got a little bit of pixelation in it. I think maybe just because it's so big, I can zoom to show just the hitch, which is nice. That'll be nice when you're hitching up. I did not get a bird's eye view. So on these trucks, that ultimate towing package that's like $3,000 something, that includes the little joystick right here, the little toggle to auto back up your truck, which, you know, anybody, I don't know, I wouldn't trust it. I would never use it because I've been backing up trailers for so long now. It ain't no big deal, you know. But that would have come with the bird's eye camera, the cameras in the mirrors, the camera that you could put on your RV and all that, and I just didn't see the value in it for $3,500, so I didn't do it. And I could opt for that fifth wheel camera separately for, that was a couple $100. We'll go over the build sheet here. Another thing it does have has a rear locker. That was a part of my special order. And we'll go over the window sticker. I did opt for the 355 rear end, which in this truck is the highest gear ratio you can get, or call it the lowest. But 2022 F350 single rear wheel, 6.7 and a 10-speed. Here's my options that we went over. 6.7 liter Power Stroke diesel was 10.4. That 355 locking rear end was $390. The FX4 package, power running boards were $995. That's cheaper than you can, then you could install some those amp folding ones for. So I figured, why not? I did do the upgraded 11.4 GVWR, which I have a comment about in a minute. The vehicle safe console vault, which is kind of cool. So if I open this up, I got a safe in there. So, I got a pistol in there, and you can lock valuables up or whatever it is you want to do, but kind of a cool factory option. I wish it was a little lower and it gave you a little more room in here, but it's fine for what I need. What else is on here? Engine block heater I did. I probably won't use that in my climate, but I figured just in case, it's for $100, just have it. Power moonroof was $14. Fifth wheel hitch prep. Those LED headlights were $1,180, which are worth every penny. Honestly, they're very bright. They're the best headlights I've ever had. Clearance lights or cab lights were $95. I like cab lights. I know some guys don't like them. I really like them. I think they're cool. Rain sensing windshield wipers, that was with the heated steering wheel, was part of that $165 option. The wheel well liners in the rear, those wheels were $1,400. When I swear when I optioned those on this truck, it was only like an $1,100 option. A lot of these prices have changed since the time that I ordered this truck. Like the overall MSRP, $81,985, that was in the high 70s when I ordered this truck. And kind of the way that I got, I didn't even pay that for the truck, just a heads up, but the way I got that deal is through my company. We've got about 100 vehicles, from bucket trucks to vans to service bodies, stuff like that. So we use this Ford dealer pretty much exclusively for all our stuff. So our fleet guy, he hooked me up. I deal with him on a regular basis. I help with the operations side of our fleet department on top of my mechanical side. But so he hooked me up. He basically did the best he could for me. This truck, when it came in, any truck they get in, they list. The truck was listed for like 96 grand. So 15 on the sticker was the markup on it, and I'm sure they would have got it because the car market right now is just insane. But yeah, that MSRP when I ordered this truck back in October was, I want to say, just touching 79. It was like 78,995 or something like that. And there's really no control over it from the dealer. Like you don't lock your deal in until the truck shows up. I didn't put a deposit on this truck or anything like that. He's like, hey, order what you want. If it comes in and you don't like it, we'll sell it to someone else for way more. They weren't really worried about it, but it did take close to 7 months. Back to options, you can see, I did the upfitter switches. Like I said, those wheels, I probably wouldn't have opted for them if I knew they were going to be $1,420. I'm almost positive that it was like a $1,000 option, but whatever. I like them. I think they'll look nice with some 35s on there with a leveling kit. I did the upfitter switches, the alternator. There's the one that caught my eye. The payload downgrade package, no charge. That's a California thing. So to keep you legal at the scales as an everyday driver, they put a downgraded payload and GVWR sticker on this truck. The payload on this truck, from the calculations and everything that we run, it's like 3,800 pounds. Well, there's a sticker in the door that says it's 3,000 pounds to keep me under whatever that, I think it's 15,000 or something, the gross vehicle weight or something like that in California. So kind of a weird deal. I'm not too worried about it. It's got the 355 rear end. It's a diesel. This thing will pull plenty and have plenty of payload for anything I need. Lariat Ultimate package. That's a bunch of like power options and stuff. That rear camera for the bed was only $200. Spray and bed liner was $595. That's cheaper than you can do it anywhere. Universal garage door opener, probably didn't need that, but I just clicked the box because it was $125. But all in all, I think this is a really nicely optioned truck. A couple guys have asked me, why didn't you go with the Platinum? Honestly, man, This interior, like this leather quality is a lot nicer than that Dodge was for sure. And really, I think this truck optioned as a platinum was another $7,000. And it's really just a different interior. And you know, you get a couple of accents on the outside. There's like a painted bumper. The grill, instead of being chrome, is like a satin, and it has that satin inlay in the bed. And I just didn't see the value in that. You know, I think this truck looks great. I think it's a very nice truck. I think it'll look great in 5 years. I'll still like it. The whole painted bumpers and satin grill and all that kind of stuff, I just think that all paint look, to me, in my opinion, maybe it's because I had my Dodge for a long time, I just think that look is kind of played out, you know, just like you see a lot more people, you know. And by all means, if that's your look that you like, you know, do what you like. For me, I don't know, I just kind of liked a little bit more of a classic look with some chrome and stuff, and that's just me. That's my preference. Obviously, I'm the one who's got to drive it, and you know, guys that are still ordering the midnight package and all that kind of stuff, you know, more power to you. If that's what floats your boat, go for it. Order what you want is kind of, you know, what I would recommend. But a couple odd things. It's supposed to have power mirrors that extend out. That one extends out and extends back in. I cannot for the life of me figure out how to do that one. It, you know, like if I switch the mirror control to that side and do it, nope, it still does this one. So I don't know if anybody can leave me a comment if you have one of these Fords and if you know a way to get that mirror to power extend. I honestly don't even think I will use that, because the mirror view, the visibility on the mirrors is great as it is. You know, these things they power fold and all that, which I don't know, when you're parking in a tight spot maybe. But yeah, I don't know on that. And then the other thing that was kind of a bummer, so I got the trim thing taken care of. They ordered it and got me right in, and you know, it took a day. They got me a rental car, but my steering wheel stopped going up and down. It'll telescope out and telescope in, but it will not go up and down. So kind of a bummer. That happened like the third day that I got it. Again, not a major ordeal, but definitely a little bit frustrating. You know, you get a brand new truck and something breaks on it the second day. It's not ideal, but there's worse things in the world. I'm gonna get it in there. They said they would need me to make an appointment. That's it. Sorry, my music cut in and killed the video. But apparently to get the steering wheel looked at that would be a different appointment rather than getting the door looked at. So not the end of the world. I'll get it in there in the next week or so. It's just a pain in the ass. You got to deal with the dealer. So, but all in all, man, I really like it. This truck's very quiet compared to the Ram. I didn't dislike that about the Ram. You know, I like hearing a little bit of engine, but this thing is definitely quieter. Man, the power of this truck's pretty impressive. You know, it's not just a little bit more powerful than that Ram was. It's a lot more powerful than that Ram was. I'll turn the air down so you guys can hear. Seat coolers are a little noisy too. They kind of give you a hum. There's a fan on them, but you hear just enough. I like the way these Power Strokes sound. They're not loud by any means, but they have a good noise to them. They make a little bit of noise. But it could use a Carly kit. It's probably gonna get a Carly leveling kit and some tires, some bigger tires. As much as I drive, man, I'm not gonna go too aggressive on the tires. It'll get some either Toyo AT3s, or I might try those Falcon Wild Peaks. I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do tire wise, but here, take a listen. Just sounds good. And it shifts, man. It shifts a lot often. I mean, there's some guys that are concerned about how much these things shift. Well, it's got 10 gears. It's supposed to shift a lot. That's the whole point in having short gears like that. So I'm not concerned about it whatsoever. The transmission's very smooth. It's not buttery smooth. It's not like you don't feel it shift. You definitely feel it shift. One thing that I was gonna touch on, that if I was gonna order this truck again, something that I would probably opt for, I don't know if you can get it, but adaptive steering. There was an adaptive steering option that I want to say was like $1,200, and I didn't do it. And it doesn't steer bad or anything like that. It's just a little bit heavy. The wheel's a little bit heavy, put it that way. And it's not a big deal when you're just driving, but when you're stopped and you're in a parking lot, or you're trying to, you know, maneuver at slow speeds or whatever. My kid put Tic Tacs in my door and I can hear that. That's what that little rattle is. But like when I turn the wheel now, it's not horrible. I can turn it, of course. You know, these are first world problems, but the steering is a little heavier than I prefer. My Dodge was fairly light on the steering compared to this, I will say. So one option I didn't check the box on that I probably wish I should have, wish I would have, is that adaptive steering, but it's fine. Doesn't bother me. This wheel is really nice. This wheel is, it's leather wrapped, obviously, and it's got just a hair of cushion to it. It's very comfortable. The seats in this thing are extremely comfortable. Way more comfortable than the Dodge was. You know, I hate to say it. And this is not a knock on the Dodge. The Dodge was a great truck. Served me well for 6 years, 5 years, however long I had it, 120 something thousand miles. But this truck is very, very comfortable compared to that. So a lot of people have knocked the ride on these. I mean, even with that upgraded 11.4 GVWR, it's not bad at all. Stops good, drives good. You know, we'll get into it a little bit here. It'll fry the tires. I mean, I'm only half throttle right now, but it you know, it gets it. It's impressive. And on the freeway, it's very comfortable to drive. It is smooth on the freeway. It is quiet. Something I didn't show you guys that I did do, like the first day that I got this thing, I pulled that ugly, god-awful air dam off the bottom of the bumper, and I installed the tremor bumper valance, the lower valance from the bumper. It's like 3 inches long instead of that 10-inch long god-awful black plastic piece that's on all these. I hate that. I don't know why. May call it something silly, but I pulled that off like first thing. I'll try to put some pictures on the end of this, and that's just a factory Tremor F250, F350 lower front bumper valance. I want to say it was $140 or something. Literally the day I bought it, before I even left the dealer, I walked into the parts department. They had one sitting on the shelf. I bought it right there, went home that night and installed it. Nice Dodge. But yeah, so got that done to it. Other than that, man, there's nothing. I did like a little stubby antenna, but I mean, there's no, this truck's gonna stay relatively stock. There's really nothing needed. I might throw an intake on it. Like I said, it'll probably get a Carly leveling kit and some shocks, but there's not going to be much to do to this truck. Just enjoy it for what it is. Hope it holds up. I'm planning to keep this truck for a while. You know, we'll see. I do like having the 4 cup holders here. Get my other phone out of the way. So this kind of moves. If you guys don't know what these are, this thing slides. Kind of cool. It's nice to have 4 cup holders, especially when you get your wife in here who always has a water and a coffee. But yeah, new controls are very nice, user friendly, simple. Next video is going to be a towing video. I haven't put anything on this. Haven't even had a hitch on this thing yet. But next Tuesday, I've got like I said, I think 5 or 6 air conditioners I got to deliver to a job up for a crane. So I'll have about a 150-mile tow up through the mountains, and I'll check back with you guys then. But this is the new truck. and I'm stoked about it. Hopefully this video helps you if you're on the fence, if you're, you know, looking at a new Ford or anything like that. The long-term quality and reliability and all that remains to be seen, but this is the new truck, and let me know if you have any questions. Later.